Welcome to Introducing Calix Smart Home and Business. My name is Greg Williams. Today I'm going to focus on 2018, the war for the subscriber. What does this mean? Well, at the end of 2017, we witnessed the proliferation of smart home. Our presentation today will be a demonstration of how Calix is going to help our partners become part of the smart home revolution. As you're likely aware, the 2017 holiday shopping season was the major event that has raised awareness and excitement for this new technology. If we look at the sales figures from Amazon, Google, Samsung, we see that a lot of people are interested. Another example would come from big box retailers. Almost every one of these stores now have dedicated smart home sections in their stores. This confirms for consumers that this new technology is here and growing. If we look at the technology leaders, like Samsung, for example, we see entire business segments being devoted to smart home and IoT devices. And lastly, with this proliferation of connected devices comes a much larger need for bandwidth, and in turn, much greater support requirements from you, the provider. Looking here, we see it's clear that the smart home war is happening now, with current adoption at 25%, and projected 37% by 2020. Then 2022, 66 million US households. And it's clear who's leading this revolution. It would be easy to look at these two giants with contempt or as a competitor, but at Calix, this is not how we see them. We see them as partners. Let's take a look at Amazon, the creator of this new technology. It started as an experiment to allow consumers an easy way to order specific products from Amazon. It has, however, become so much more than that, with the ability now to order almost anything. In addition, we can stream music, control our TV, lights, and the list goes on and on. It seems like we are only limited by our imagination. Adoption of this innovation is driving enormous amounts of data to AWS, or Amazon Web Services. Currently, AWS is the 5th largest cloud provider in the world. Revenue for AWS jumped 43% in 2017 alone, meaning Amazon wants to own retail and the cloud. Next is Google. Google is a bit more simple. Google's end game is data. With the Google Home devices, subscribers are inviting Google into their homes and providing Google free data. Another example is the Android OS. Google created the Android OS and provides it again for free to anyone, allowing Google access to more free data. Samsung, however, has a slightly different approach. Samsung's goal is to gather data as well, but also sell new hardware such as washers, dryers, microwaves, TVs, etc. Pulling usage data from these devices equipped with SmartThings software allows them to create better focused devices. Although there are other smart home device manufacturers, hundreds really, Samsung has a substantial lead over its competitors. And what about Apple? Well, Apple is certainly a large innovator, but in the smart home segment, they are substantially behind the other three mentioned. Currently, the HomePod is essentially a music streaming device, and while this device is not part of this discussion today, we'll be monitoring it for changes so that you do not have to. The past practices of viewing CPE as a lost capital expense, thus installing underpowered, low-cost, low-feature gateways to serve Wi-Fi is costing you. With 63% of subscribers having Wi-Fi issues, subscribers and providers are piecing together devices to address these issues. This piecemeal approach is really not solving the issues, and in the end is causing greater complexity with fewer features. As you can see here, subscribers are so desperate to fix their Wi-Fi issues that they're turning to big box retailers for supplemental Wi-Fi hardware. These devices claim to be easy to install and use, but they add to the complexity of the network when they do not work or cause issues. This complexity is demanding more from your support centers, with 50% of all support calls being Wi-Fi related, and those Wi-Fi related calls lasting 3 times longer than traditional broadband service calls. And although these devices are branded with names such as Linksys, Asus, or Google, you are the ones getting the support calls. As an example, back in January, Google released new code without notifying customers, which is normal. This new code caused some of its devices to basically overload routers and gateways internally due to a very overactive keep alive type signal. As subscribers started calling their providers, Google was never identified as a culprit. The old, it must be my Wi-Fi provider mentality. Even other hardware vendors started looking at their own releases, working on patches and updates. When the issue was finally discovered and Google released the fix, the financial damage had already been done, impacting many vendors and providers. The point of my story here is the issue was easily identifiable if you had total network visibility. But since we are blind past the RG, it cost you time and credibility in troubleshooting. And then what about all that important data? Unfortunately, you're not getting it. You're being cut out. The ultimate problem here is you're invisible until there is a problem. When subscribers think of innovators, they see and interact with these brands, when in reality, your brand connects all of these devices to the cloud. Without you, they would not work. Calix is here to help you address this. Yep, this is a brand war, and you're losing. The increased complexity, the loss of revenue, and your increasing support costs as well as churn. So, what are your options? Option one, you can invite them in. This is not an option that benefits you in any way. You purchased the devices to give away, increasing their revenue and propagating their brand, all while adding more unmanaged complexity. Option two, you resell their products. Again, you are increasing their revenue, propagating their brand, all while adding more unmanaged complexity. And lastly, option three, the Comcast Syndicate. The Comcast Syndicate is doing some interesting things, but the major issue here is following or aligning with someone whose focus isn't software. When you do that, that locks you into their ecosystem. So, what do we recommend? Well, you shouldn't do nothing. Again, you're already behind in the smart home revolution. You shouldn't be a retailer, and you shouldn't create bundles. We recommend offering an integrated, purpose-built smart home solution with best-in-class elements. So, how do you do that? Well, you change the game. You start by co-opting and integrating with these brands and ecosystems, eliminating the need for subscribers to purchase products from big box retailers. And with that, let me introduce your branded smart home and business powered by the Calix Smart Home and Business Platform. All right, what did we just see? Well, we saw an early functional prototype. The current model is quite a bit smaller than that one, but that one is a functioning unit. It uses Calix's written skills over AWS with real voice interactions. Then let me explain about the Anycom brand. This is actually your brand. Anycom is simply a placeholder for your name. Again, as customers interact, they will see and interact with your brand. So Calix Smart Home and Business makes all of this possible. It enables marketing and brand enablement. It creates new business models and revenue streams, and it helps manage cost while speeding time to market. Let me explain all the Calix Smart Home and Business platform elements. First, we have the EXOS, the Experience Operating System. Next, the GigaFamily, the new smart home system. Calix Cloud, which includes the Calix Support and Calix Marketing Cloud. And lastly, Calix Services, our world-class services team. Let's start by examining EXOS. It starts with a hardware agnostic abstraction layer, allowing you to run EXOS on different hardware. Next is the application packages and management layer, which is where the individual processes reside and run. And lastly, the microservices aggregation platform that connects you to the cloud, Alexa, and SmartThings, or your own OSS BSS system. One of the major key elements of EXOS is uninterrupted service. It provides you and your subscribers with a containerized, modular, and stateful platform that can be upgraded without changing the subscriber's state. No need to reboot or send texts out, enhancing the overall customer experience and your brand. This is the same code upgrade process the big three utilize, by the way. Making all this possible is software flexibility. A software-centric, not hardware-dependent system. Easy iteration and real-time analytics via DPI, or Deep Packet Inspection. You also have greater visibility and security at the subscriber edge, meaning you can see all the devices connected to the network, and you can see the usage of these devices with the ability to identify issues in real time. With you in control of the entire ecosystem, you can create a product story that is in line with your marketing plan, not someone else's. Now that was EXOS. Let's talk about the home enablement revolution in the GigaFamily products. This evolution started with low-cost gateways with basic Wi-Fi. As the need for faster, better Wi-Fi coverage has increased, larger multi-antenna gateways were introduced. However, these gateways can cause just as many problems as they solve if they are deployed improperly, which is normally the case. With our sophisticated smart home system, these issues are a thing of the past. With our new smart home system is a best-in-class, first-to-market system featuring a full 6 gigabit with 8x8 11AX Wi-Fi. We also support Amazon Alexa with voice recognition technology, low-power Bluetooth, Zigbee, Z-Wave, and future Google Assistant support, all in a single unit. Here we see the full GigaSpire line. We have the GigaSpire Max supporting everything shown thus far, the GigaSpire Go featuring Alexa, Google, and 802.11x Wi-Fi, the GigaSpire Blast for best-in-class Wi-Fi, and the GigaMesh Wi-Fi mesh unit. Using the built-in GigaSpire voice skills can provide you an automated troubleshooting, automatic identify and fix of Wi-Fi issues, all while providing simple and natural communication. And lastly, it allows you to deploy more intuitive service offerings faster and in an automated fashion. The Giga family also becomes the IoT integrator, supporting multiple IoT technologies and protocols. Basically, it will allow you to collapse the existing smart home hub farms into a single gateway, as well as allowing new adopters a simpler entry into the new smart home revolution. Comparing the Giga family head to head with the only real competitive product out there, you can see we are already ahead in almost every category. Now let's talk about Calix Cloud and the two technologies that this encompasses. The real power is in the data, as the big powerhouses are well aware of. Calix Cloud gives you access to that same data. We unlock this data via DPI. We democratize that data, allowing everyone in your organization access. And lastly, we empower you to use the data with purpose-built tools. The Calix Marketing Cloud is the only solution on the market today providing data to your marketing team, reporting on subscriber activity. And with the increased support requirements talked about earlier, Calix Support Cloud is your partner in this support environment. Now, when we talk about subscriber activity and insights, what do you know today? Well, you know things like rough demographics, estimated income, subscriber service tier, and their monthly bill. But what you really need to know is information about the individual users. Things like how much streaming is happening. Are there gamers there? Does anyone use VPN from the home? Are there smart home users there? Knowing this information, this individual user data allows you to effectively provide targeted marketing packages. At the same time, today's transparency in the home is also very limited. With the GigaSpire, you get the transparency and control you need. You're able to see things like, are there mesh units there? Do they have IoT hubs? They use a home monitoring service. Again, allowing you to create a marketing package. Your smart home system enlightens your marketing team with exact data. It empowers your customer care with real-time access to network intelligence and troubleshooting, including automated remediation. And last, but certainly not least, is Calix Services. Calix Services is our revolutionary new team to help you understand, plan, and execute these new strategies. We work with your team to integrate the new services. We empower your team with world-class training. And lastly, we work to help build your brand. "2018 is the time to start. With Calix Smart Home and Business, your brand can dominate." Thank you.